Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to another recording of Hearthstone. Today is Monday, December 3rd. Let's see. I was questioning whether the Nintendo collection that I have sitting in my garage is infested with rodents, and Lemon Lover is envious of my collection, so he says, "Don't say that, no, Rydo," and crying face. "Stack a flat rate box with old Game Boys for your boy over here, haha." Yeah, I don't know how many. I really don't have that many Game Boys. Like, hardware and software were kind of the least thing I collected. Most of the things I collected were harder to find memorabilia things, not the games. Like, there's like 300 Nintendo games. I probably only own about 38 NES games. But if you were to go to eBay and buy all the NES games, that would be easy. If you were to go to eBay and try and find like a stand-up display, cardboard display that was for like Pokemon the movie, like I have that, and that was it's probably incredibly rare because they were supposed to be destroyed, but it's also in pretty bad shape. And I also have like a stand-up display for the Turok Nintendo 64 game and Zelda Ocarina of Time game. It's just stand-up 5 foot tall, 6 foot tall displays advertising things. You don't really see stand-up displays that often anymore, particularly now that Toys R Us is out of business. Let's hop into a game. I guess I need to play Druid or Hunter, although I don't know if either one of those have any elementals. So I'll stick with Token Druid because that probably has a higher chance of elementals in it than anything else. But as for hardware and Game Boys, let's see, I had the original Game Boy. I probably had 2 or 3 of those. The Game Boy SP, maybe 2 of those, and the Game Boy Pockets, maybe a couple of those. DS, maybe I have a couple of DS's. Game Boy Advances, I probably only have 1 Game Boy Advance. And anything after the DS, like 3DS or anything, I never even got those. So when you think about all the different variants and colors of Game Boys out there, there was the original Game Boy, and then Game Boy Pockets came in at least 12 different colors, and the SPs came in at least a dozen colors.
The light protects me.
So yeah, there's quite a variety, particularly in the Game Boy. I have a Virtual Boy. Don't have all the games for it, but I have quite a few of them. And I enjoyed the Virtual Boy, but nobody else did. I got a lot of video game news though, so reminiscing is I need to cover some of the news, I think. Lemon Lover puts a swirly eyes, frowny face emoji.
The scourge will devour all.
Fight.
I should have attacked first. It's always explosive trap. Game of Sutra has a blog, Artifact and the 5 Currencies, which seems to be a breakdown in part of the different ways you can make or lose, more accurately I think the different ways you can spend money on Artifact. I think it's sort of fair to say Artifact is dead in the water. Like, if Artifact pivoted, you probably could turn it into a somewhat playable game, but I don't think they've even pivoted fast enough at this point. So it breaks it down. To play the game at all, you pay $20. To play constructed, for stakes or no stakes, unless you're losing a lot, you pay to play Keeper Draft after you've run out of packs. You pay to play any expert mode after you've run out of tickets. So that's four different ways in which you're paying. Although I don't know how that breaks down to 5 currencies. The 2 most common complaints they say is the $20 entrance fee, which I think that is a big deal. To certainly a YouTuber like me who plays Hearthstone quite a lot, has zero interest in even looking at Artifact because of that $20 entrance fee. And the second complaint is there should be a free way to grind for cards like other card games. By the way, Disguised Toast is back to playing Hearthstone. So his brief, he still has Hearthstone removed from his name and such, and I don't think he's going to go back and undo that. But his brief foray into playing other games seems to have not been exclusively anti-Hearthstone in his thoughts. Now, it's still, I guess, up to people's perspective whether Hearthstone is dying on YouTube or not. I could certainly make an argument. No video game streaming on YouTube has ever been that successful. It might really just boil down to that. Let's see. This article continues. It says they assume that. Yeah, that doesn't even matter. Okay, so here's the 5 currencies in this blog. Somebody thought of the title first and then they worked their way backwards into an article, it seems, if I was to guess at what they did. The 5 currencies according to this blog are the money dollars, just regular money, pain in the butt dollars, anything that's annoying, painful, and inconvenient costs, time dollars, any minutes and hours, integrity dollars, and that's still just 4. Let's see, skill dollars apparently is also 1. Yeah, this article is terrible. This is a terrible, terrible article. I'm just gonna go ahead and close this terrible article because it's really not saying anything about Artifact. We pretty much know Artifact. It's a known commodity. And we play a couple elementals out of the 6 we needed to do. Moving on, GameIndustry.biz has an article. Jam City reportedly lays off a large number of employees across multiple studios. Harry Potter Hogwarts mystery developer undergoes, quote, organizational changes, end quote, following multiple acquisitions. So, no duh, a company acquires another company and then lays off a bunch of people. Like, that's how it always boils down to. Is Harry Potter Hogwarts Mystery the microtransaction-laden cell phone game that strangles a child from Hogwarts strangles the character you're playing as from Hogwarts unless you pay up. Let's see. Is there anything more in this GameIndustry.biz? Just last week, Jam City announced that it acquired Bingo Pop IP from Yukon Games.
I don't have enough mana.
Just keep on playing.
Job done.
Well, yeah, I guess there's not much more I could say here. We could look at Harry Potter Hogwarts Mystery
Reporting
and
for duty.
see what this game looks like. I can't read that page. Can I not find the Wikipedia page on it? Here it is. There we go, that's what I'm looking for.
Peace.
Time waits for no one.
Okay, yes, this was one of the games that was widely criticized for its aggressive microtransaction technique. Yeah. So, it's not super surprising that this game developer is in trouble. I wouldn't be surprised if Disney decided to cancel any future contracts and pull the plug on doing business with Jam City. But maybe not. Maybe it was Disney's idea in the first place. Well, I think I'm gonna win here. Alright, we've got a game on Steam called The Art Thief, or The Art Theft by Jay Doherty. It's from Google, so this is one of these animated VR things for free. I'll put this on the follow list, but it's not really a game, it's just these VR things that Google is putting on Steam. Although it's slightly interactive, you can tell. You draw the picture and then it plays that role as the piece of art that gets stolen. So it's slightly interactive.
We will devour this world.
For the wild.
Yeah, Google is starting to release like one or two videos for VR.
Access denied.
No, it's about one a month, I guess.
Converting stored energy.
But it seems like they might be speeding up. Let's see. Yeah, this article I don't need to talk about because it's just an article talking about other articles that have been written. It's just in there. TechRaptor has an article also talking about artifacts monetization. It's called the Artifact Monetization Report. Which it doesn't seem like it really formulates too much of a opinion. It's just giving the bare facts in a better way than Gamma Sutra did. Like that, I suppose that's really the only thing you can talk about or say about Artifact is either you say, oh, I'm not interested in it, or you say, here's the monetization of it. I suppose hit that. And we'll go ahead and hit things. Let's see. Gamma Sutra has an article announcing the juries for the International Games Festival 2019 Design, Narrative, and Best Student Game Awards. And then it goes on to name the people who will be on the juries. And none of their names look familiar to me, which is not super surprising. Just people who made some video game somewhere, whether it was a small indie video game nobody's heard of, or whether it happened to be actually a recognizable video game of some quality. Or, you know, some of these are people that work in the game industry but not in a role or in a company that actually makes games at all.
Unity, precision.
Gamma Sutra has an article. Mobile studio Playtika acquires Wooga, WOOGA, to bolster its casual game offerings. I haven't heard of either one of these companies. So I imagine it's one cell phone company buying another cell phone company, or cell phone game company. Let's see. Let's try this. 2, 4.
I fight.
For the wild. Job's done.
Let's see. Well, I doubt I'm gonna win after taking all that damage. We've got a game on Steam called Simson Tuningwerkstatt 3D, which seems like this is probably not English as its first language. Yeah, English language not supported. This is a German only game. Seems like you're working on motorcycles and things of similar creation. Well, it's not in English, so I wouldn't want to play it. It doesn't look terrible. The general idea of being able to make and think about building a bike or a moped
I fight.
isn't a terrible thought.
For the wild.
Particularly if you could then like print out pictures or print out a parts list, print out a paint like color list and hand that to somebody who actually builds bikes. You know, that'd be kind of interesting. Now this one I think might be a troll game or just like a low effort sandbox game. It's called Light Up the Holidays. Doesn't look bad as a game, but if I go back here to the beginning of the video, there's a snowman with a candy cane placed in a very phallic position, and then putting a snowman on a cross and crucifying it doesn't sound like a legitimate like video. Let's see, where was it? Did it skip? This is still kind of rough. The idea is not terrible, but it seems kind of odd. Like you want to decorate your house, but you want to sketch out and paint and pre-decorate your house. Like, this might be useful for somebody who does this professionally, or perhaps somebody who goes way overboard with lighting their houses. Yeah, I'm not gonna see the snowman. I think it jumped the video. You can import your own music files to make the lights blink, which that's not anything. Let's see. what would be really cool is if this worked, if it was programmable to work either through if this then that to control some outdoor outlets that are wirelessly controlled, like via Z-Wave or a relay box. You basically have to have it as a relay box that wired directly to it, I think, for the amount of power you'd use if you were doing a big thing. So here's the snowman in this. Yeah, I think this is more of a troll game than a real game. But maybe the idea makes sense if House Flipper is a real game. House Decorator, still in the same way, feels like it might be somewhat of a idea that could be done as a real game. And still have 2 more elementals. There's like only 2 elementals in this druid deck I'm playing. I'm also looking for victory. Next we have Christmas Mahjong, which is just Mahjong Solitaire with some Christmas themes. I guess these games are coming out slightly at the right time, but not really. This says it came out December 10th, 2013, and it's just coming to Steam now. Like, you're still probably a month late if you're gonna make a Christmas game. I'd say at least a week late. Get it out on Black Friday during the sale, the fall sale that happened on Steam. So yeah, I don't think I'd want to play any Mahjong games on Steam unless it's really, really good. Hey, speaking of Christmas, this is a new card back. This is all new stuff from the new expansion. Let's see. We've got things all over the place. So I bet there's probably some kind of musical thing you could do here.
Time waits for no one. Job done.
Yeah, I think there's probably something more here. That's kind of hard to click on. So if this new backing is here, maybe the card packs could be opened. Probably not, but
Job's done.
worth a try. Moving on, Gamma Sutra has an article. Final Fantasy 15 director Hajime Tabata opens a new studio. So, some, from what I've heard, and this is kind of unconfirmed rumor, some would say that Hajime Tabata was the reason why Final Fantasy 15 is so bad. And so him starting a new company probably just means he started a new doomed company that will never get a product out or never get successful. Particularly when you're thinking, this is the guy that made Final Fantasy 15 with Square Enix's budget. Like, I don't think he's gonna go small time. I don't think this is gonna be a small Suda 51 style indie game. I think he's gonna try to go very, very big. Maybe he took enough talent with him, or he's gonna take enough talent with him from Square Enix, and maybe his new company will be the new Square Enix, but only better. But I don't feel like there's a guarantee that any of that will happen, or even a high chance. Let's see. So his new studio is called JP Games, which, alright. Which, that's a very Western name for a company in Japan, because they call Japan Nippon. Well, only Westerners and people in America call it Japan. Let's see. Might as well just kill that one fast because we don't have to do something there anyways. The exact quote here is, "I started my own company called JP Games Incorporated," wrote Tabata. "Right now we are preparing to target a January 2019 launch, and to everyone who has assisted me until today, I kindly ask for your ongoing support." So not a lot of information there, certainly, but whatever. I should be able to win next time. Hopefully. Gamasutra has an article. The former Sierra Online dev has posted the original source codes to eBay. So, the former Sierra Online developer and creator of the Leisure Suit Larry games, that's Al Lowe, L-O-W-E, is listing the original source code for the games he worked on to eBay, with more to follow. It's always nice to see a developer unearth and share the old collection of work with the rest of the community. However, it's a bit of a shame that the games aren't being donated at the time of this application to an organization like the Video Game History Foundation for Preservation. So he's basically selling, I don't know what you'd even say it is. It's probably just some floppy disks or some paper printouts of source code that I don't know if you're getting the actual source code or the rights to the source code.
I fight.
Because there are some differences there.
I'm waiting for no one. For the wild.
3 short. Alright, well, that should be fine. 5 short, actually. Let's see. As reported by Ars Technica, Lowe plans on listing more of his collection to eBay, which likely includes other Leisure Suit Larry games, King's Quest III, and Police Quest. As of right now, the source code for Leisure Suit Larry 2 is currently bidding at over $2,000. In addition, Lowe explains he saved original backups of his complete programming pipeline, which included the Sierra utilities that converted plain text ASCII commands to interpreted code. Lowe warns potential buyers that the disks haven't been tested, so there's no guarantee they will work, and owning the disk does not grant legal rights to commercially redistribute them. Yeah, so you're not getting a license to those games. I bet he doesn't own the license to any of those games. Since it probably all belonged to Sierra, and Sierra probably transferred the rights when they went bankrupt or got acquired several times over. I can pretty much guarantee you, unless you've got a very good unless you've got some major recovery skills and equipment, I pretty much guarantee you a floppy disk will not be readable. Even if you did have a floppy disk reader, which most people wouldn't have. So you're buying probably things that have just been erased by the magnetic noise in the atmosphere. And then, well, the cosmos. Like,
I must protect.
in my experience, before I stopped using floppy disks got erased pretty frequently in 3 or 4 years. You're talking games that are probably decade old or more. Let's see. Quote, realize that while you have my data as of the day of Larry 1's creation, you will not own the intellectual property rights to the game, the code, or the art, or anything else, lol, says in the Leisure Suit Larry 1 listing. Interesting developers can see what Lowell has listed his collection so far by clicking here. So it seems like he's probably low on money, if I was to guess. And these are 5 1/4 floppy disks that he's listing too, so not even 3.5 floppies. Which might make it slightly easier for a professional to see if he could recover some information off of him, but probably not much. You'd probably be a lot easier and better just to reverse de-encode the final game. Like, while that would be slightly different results. And you can, I guess, slightly hope that perhaps the person who wins the eBay listing will be a preservationist, and a good preservationist at that part, not a bad preservationist like me. And maybe he'll give it to a museum. Or maybe a museum will just buy it themselves. Let's see. I don't think we need to go over this article again, so we'll not. We have a game on Steam called Gerty, G-E-R-T-Y, which says it's a roguelike action RPG. To me it looks like a top-down twin-stick shooter, which, you know, I say it almost every stream. I don't like top-down twin-stick shooters. This UI looks slightly interesting, but a lot of this is just dark and it looks like a blob of color. I don't know if my eyesight's going or if that's just what the game is. $15.29 discounted. Yeah, that's a lot. There we go. Job's done. Next we have a game on Steam called Whimsical Quest, which looks like MS Paint graphics for a roguelike. Yeah, it looks like a top-down twin-stick shooter also. And you just get the same games over and over again. Yeah, this looks really, really bad. Play that. And then return. Gamatsu has an article. A Rage 2 trailer is set for the Game Awards 2018. The Game Awards are December 6th. In case you're wondering, this is from a teaser that was tweeted out by Rage 2. Well, at Rage Game. They certainly are doing their due diligence, I would say, for promoting Rage 2, because that's certainly not how it could have gone down. It certainly could have been a case of just them pushing it out and forgetting about it, like they kind of did, like THQ Nordic did with Darksiders 3, which has been about a week since Darksiders 3 came out, and very few people have anything good to say, and a lot of people have a lot of bad things to say about it. Speaking of THQ Nordic, THQ Nordic acquired the Carmageddon intellectual property. So it seems like, I mean, with Darksiders 3 coming out in the state that it came out, and then immediately them saying, well, we acquired this next game. At that point, my confidence is very, very low in THQ Nordic. I am at this point going to consider every game that comes out of them to be probably a bad quality, low effort, just re-release or continuation. If they were going to break their mold from like the Black Mirror reboot game, and if they were going to make a good game, it should have been Darksiders 3. And that's not what they're doing. They're just acquiring old games and re-releasing old games, maybe slightly remastering old games. So now I'm at this perspective where I really would only go to THQ Nordic for old games. And Carmageddon particularly doesn't interest me. The question about Carmageddon would be, why would I play that instead of GTA? Are they, like, I'd have to do some more research to even know if they're the similar games, but I'm, on first thought, would almost assume that they are.
My dream and the world trembles.
Let's see. Gamatsu has an article, the game Is It Wrong to Try and Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon Infinite Combat launches in the spring 2019 in Japan, which is kind of funny because I don't think that anime series is even still airing. I think it's come and gone, and it just took them so long to try to tie in some other styles of... Alright, let's return that. Did that wrong. Do that. Do that. Do that.
I hunt alone. My hand is too full.
Let's see. Is this... Do we finally have another visual novel on Steam? It's been a long time since any visual novels have been announced. This one's tagged with sexual content, but I think we're cool. So we've got this game, Kaori After Story, which says it's a simulation adventure. It might be a Western game. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be Japanese at all in it. The developer describes the title as this. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's too extreme. And maybe that's why this one has been allowed to be released. It's been disconcertingly quite a while since I've seen a visual novel game, or a Japanese visual novel, or Japanese release game on Steam. It feels like it's been about 2 weeks now.
My thanks to you.
So we'll have to see what's going on. Maybe there's a different reason. Maybe they just don't want to release games at the end of the year. Maybe they have that much good sense to do that.
My greeting.
This guy's talking a little too much. Next we have a game called Pumpkin Run, which, you know what? The sliding mechanic is actually kind of impressive. But this still is a very basic, like, infinite runner game with just the same background and the same handful of creatures and animations. 99 cents. Not worth it. Totally not worth it. Game of Sutra has an article. Rovio acquires Eve War of Ascension developer Play Raven. I've never heard of Eve War of Ascension or Play Raven, but Rovio is the Angry Birds creator. So this is potentially something of interest. Guess we're looking for victories. Do I think something else would work better? You could try Zoo Warlock, I guess. I may end up just having to play a lot off screen to get victories. See, Play Raven also worked on Spy Master, Winter State, and Roboside. 3 more games I've never heard of. Interesting. But I guess Rovio needs more talent. Angry Birds was a very simplistic game, and if they're gonna try and continue to be successful, they're gonna have to get bigger and more skilled. Let's see. We have this game on Steam called Tindy Trainer, which looks like a VR goaltending for like ice hockey game. It's free to play. I don't think I would ever really want this because I'm not into playing ice hockey, but I could see maybe if you're spending the amount of money it costs for a ice hockey Tinders uniform, which is probably more expensive than it costs to get a VR headset, and you need to practice, and your practice can't be done because, I don't know, it's too cold outside, it's too snowing outside, or maybe if it's 6 feet snow outside, maybe you would get this in that specific scenario. Or if you happen to be into ice hockey in an area that doesn't have any ice hockey rinks, or the ice never freezes, maybe that would make some sense.
I'll never tell.
It might be not the same as the real thing by quite a bit too, so you might be improperly training your muscles with like the wrong muscle memory, and it might do more harm than good. Okay, this and this and this.
For the doctor.
Next we have a game on Steam called SCP Derelict Sci-Fi First-Person Shooter, which that seems like a very generic name. It looks sort of like an asset flip, sort of like a generic game. Somebody seems to half try here. Doesn't feel like this is just an extremely low effort game, but it is definitely still a low effort game and not at a level of quality that I would want to give it the amount of time. Seems like it's very possibly taking maps from Halo. If I had played Halo, I'd be more familiar with the maps and be able to tell what they are. Let's see.
Stop copying me! Stop copying
fails. Try crystal.
Let's see. Gamma Sutra has an article. Sundered is coming to the Xbox One and Switch on December 21st alongside a local co-op update. Sundered is a hand-drawn Metroidvania style side-scroller. I assume it's already on PC. Yeah, it's already on PC, and there's going to be a definitive version update for the PC and PlayStation 4 versions. I'm gonna leave this article open because I'm not sure Sundered is on my wish list. It probably should be. Let's see.
Mushroom power! Why me?
Still have a ton of news. Just a ton of news. Let's see. Let's see. Lemon Lover says it is more expensive by a lot. Interesting. Let me go back and look at that. Let's see. Let's see. The Xbox One and Switch Worldwide version. The Xbox One and Switch Worldwide version will be available December 21st for $19.99. So how much is Sundered on Steam right now? If $20 is more expensive. $19.99.
So many possibilities.
It doesn't seem like there's a price difference from what I'm saying, Lemon Lover. Were you talking about something else? And
Why me?
And not the game Sundered? Were you talking about like the cost of VR headsets compared to a goalkeeper uniform? Lemon Lover says yes, the hockey gear. It says yeah, it's more expensive. That's what I was thinking too, is that like a goalkeeper's amount of equipment is probably like $1,000 would be my guess. I wouldn't be surprised if it's even like $2,000. So buying like a $600 VR headset and a pretty powerful computer for like $700, even if you never had a computer before, is probably not that expensive in comparison. But you kind of have to do both. So hockey, particularly if you're goalkeeping, is really expensive. I don't think it's as expensive to play the other positions. Though I think you get a bit of a discount if you're just playing some other positions.
It's playtime.
But I'm really out of my element. You know, Lemon Level says yep. And
I let the dogs out.
Moving on to the next game, we have a game on Steam called Hotel Soulwow's, which I have no idea what this is supposed to be. Like, why is this available on Steam? Mystery adventure game with unique and appealing 2D graphics. I think you don't know the meaning of the word appealing if you say this is appealing. Like, no. No, this is not appealing. This makes me want to peel my eyelids off.
So many possibilities.
Like, oh, wow. $3.99, no discount. So I have to kind of think that's a troll game just because of the look of it. Oh, that didn't win. Oh, maybe I should play Control Priest. That might work. Or if I get desperate, I'll start playing Murlocs. I just want to cover Tech Raptor's quick take on the Sinran Kagra 7 even censorship likely due to changing regulations. That's the title of the article. We already talked about this, but I like their quick take, so I'm going to say their quick take goes, Sony's decisive decision to step away from adult-focused games is frankly asinine, especially in light of other platforms and distributors loosening their restrictions, which is debatable. The next couple of years are going to be painful for fans of Japanese games as they have to deal with Sony's idiocy. Developers aren't stupid though, they're going to wisen up and move to platforms that actually care about delivering what the fans want. The sooner the better. So, at least Tech Raptor is a somewhat free speech supporter in this case. Let's see. Lemon Lover said that around there for a good setup, yes, but it can go much higher depending on the brand. You're on your hockey stuff here, Rydo. OMG, appealing. Lol. Yep.
Must consider.
As the winter is happening, I was looking up some like ice skating rinks to see if there was somewhere I could take some friends of mine's children with their parents, of course. I'm not just taking them. But frankly, they have so many of them trying to teach a handful of people how to skate when I don't know how to skate. It would have been a nightmare. So instead I was just like, hey, you're the parents, you teach them to skate, and then I'll sit down and watch them skate around. I remember I went to like a skating rink once or twice as a child and never figured out actually how to skate. So it wasn't something I picked up and could do. And I'm probably, again to use the phrase old, I'm probably a little too old to try and learn it nowadays. Swap our minions attack and health. I did that wrong. I'm already playing wrong.
The end is coming!
Now the good news is a lot of these articles that I'm looking at are just repeats of the same articles, so I am slowly making progress on removing them. Alright, so if I was to play this and
Like to play with fire?
then to play this and then to do this. Oh man, I could have just done that swap there.
Right away.
I played very poorly there. Very poorly. That was just terrible strategy. Alright, moving on, we have a game on Steam called Splotches, which looks like some kind of like puzzle game, a painting game. I have no idea what your actual goal here is, but it certainly doesn't look interesting. Let's see, $8.49. And after seeing all these bad games, it's gonna make shopping for the winter sale, I think, easier somehow. Do that.
Right away.
That. That. There we go. Do that. Attack. In the turn. I'm gonna get a victory here, or at least I should. Let's see. GameIndustry.biz has an article. CCP halts production on the Eve-based first-person shooter Project Nova. The Icelandic studio is going, quote, back to the drawing board more than a year after its announcement. Eve is making tons of money last time I heard, so going back to the drawing board is probably alright for them. They also, in October of 2017, canceled a VR push due to the slow growth of VR, which makes sense. Deal 3 damage to a whole lot of minions. Can we do this?
Right away.
If I
Right away.
do this, and then this,
Meddlesome insects.
and then this, and then this, and then that.
Minion with taunt is in the way.
Right away.
Yeah, I think CCP can go back to the drawing board and continue to work on a new game. It would be nice if they spent the money that they're making on development in their company and continue to make newer and more diverse style of games based on Eve or based on something completely different. You could see CCP over the course of the next decade be something closer to CD Projekt Red, where it has Witcher, but then it also has Cyberpunk. And even in CD Projekt Red's case, they probably could do with at least one more tentpole product available to them. Let's see. So that news doesn't scare me as much as it might for other people or other developers.
Is someone injured?
Somebody tweeted out this article. Video game developers forecast over 1 million jobs to be created in Africa by 2025. Okay. Is this South Africa though, or is this which country in Africa? Because inherently there could be a lot of jobs created in Africa for a lot of people, because there's definitely skilled and ambitious workers there. Unfortunately, there's no water there, and the temperature is only increasing because of global rising and global climate change, and that's causing famine, which means people can't eat, and that's causing or at least contributing to instability, political instability, just insecurity in general.
Job's done.
So it's hard in my mind to think about starting a company of any kind in Africa if the fear is that you're only even like 400 miles away from some other country that might decide to cross your border and invade you. Even if the place you start is stable and secure, that may not last for very long. And you know, democracy is not super respected in a lot of African countries, and there's a lot of military coups. If anything, I would say there might be a market for like Brazil, but again, stability is an issue. Stability that arguably was lost because of US interference, but stability is still very much an issue. I think South America and Mexico potentially could be places to go, but you need a good 40-50 years of security in your government structure, and your lack of civil wars, a lack of violence. But it's an interesting thought, certainly. I mean, honestly, even India starting video game development companies is slightly questionable because of just how India's government is inefficient. Moving on, we have a game on Steam called Moon Colonization Product, which is mostly negative already. It doesn't look like anything that interesting, very generic, simplistic animations.
To my side.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything interesting there. Right, we've got a 7. Don't want to silence. We could double for 14, but we need another double.
Let the pain speak to me. I comply.
I'm just gonna hit that to heal.
Job's done.
Next, we have a game on Steam called Hordiaz, Hordiaz. It looks like an RPG Maker game, although it might not actually be made with RPG Maker. That doesn't really make it any better. Early access $19.99, no discount. Yep. No quality there. The GameIndustry.biz has another article. Playtika acquires the German casual studio Wooga. Oh, I think we already covered the story. The deal's worth a reported $100 million with no layoffs to Wooga's 180 strong team. Yeah, we already covered that article, but I guess that gives us some numbers behind it. Gematsu has an article. The PlayStation Awards 2018 winners have been announced. So, the quadruple platinum prize went to Monster Hunter World. The platinum prize went to Last of Us Remastered and Persona 5. The gold prize went to Call of Duty World War II.
Meddlesome insects.
Let's hit that.
Is someone injured?
Job's done.
Let's see. Yeah, the gold prize went to Call of Duty World War II, God of War, Gran Turismo Sport, GQ Powerful Pro Yaku 2018. That one probably didn't make it to the West. Marvel Spider-Man, Pro Evolution Soccer, and Super Robot Wars 5. It seems like the quadruple platinum award was for people that sold over 4 million copies, so if they just sold that many, they won the award. So this isn't particularly awards that are decided by anybody as much as they are just awards that that are given for the number of sales. Platinum was over 1 million copies, and gold was over 500,000 copies. The PlayStation Network Awards were given to the top 3 network sales titles, which is FIFA 18, Fortnite, and Monster Hunter World. Then the User Choice Prizes are the top 10 titles voted by Japan and Asian users. That includes Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Dark Souls Remastered, Detroit Become Human, Dragon Quest 11, Fortnite, God of War, Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 4, Spider-Man, Monster Hunter World, and Yakuza Kiwami 2. The PlayStation VR Awards are given to Elder Scrolls VR, Elder Scrolls 5, Skyrim VR, Gran Turismo Sport, and No Heroes Allowed VR. I don't know what No Heroes Allowed is.
Meddlesome insects.
Let's see. Just gonna silence my own guy and draw a card. And then the Indian Developer Awards are given to Abzu, Dead Cells, and Ultimate Chicken Horse. So not much of a interesting outcome. Let's see. The Sony Interactive Japan Asia Awards. Seems like they just announced it. It doesn't even seem like there was an event to announce them or any kind of video or anything. They probably just put out these numbers so that you can put a sticker on your game and maybe get some more sales off of it. I'm gonna just attack him and see what this does. Alright. And guess we can do this. And that. And then in the turn. Still have a ton of tabs to cover, but I don't know if I really want to go for a fourth recording today. Or if I'm just gonna leave a lot of news for Wednesday. I don't even know if I'm really gonna stream on Wednesday, to be honest. Let's just be honest. If the new card expansion happens tomorrow or at midnight tonight, I may not even stream on Wednesday. Okay, if I play this, this would give me a 5. That's a 5. I don't really need to deal with that. And that. I'll go ahead and attack here. Great. Double that. And might as well play this, I guess.
I comply.
Next we have a game on Steam called Rope Racer Oneon, which looks like a weird concept alone. Just ignoring how ugly it looks for a second. Like, there's these dots and you're having these cars swing on the dots to get from point A to point B. Like, I don't get it. I literally don't get it. You like collect the dots and then you click where you want to swing? Like, why was this even a concept? Who thought this was going to be a good idea in the beginning? Well, whatever. Somebody thought it was a good idea. I don't agree with them. Okay, what can we do to save my guy? Because if I attack here, that doesn't do enough damage.
Consider.
Not holding a dragon. I should have been holding a dragon. And then I could have played it. So I'm just gonna heal here, and then my turn.
Quickly.
Next we have a game on Steam called In Your Shadow, which looks like it's a troll game of some sort. Just some very random animations. Just, yeah. This is bad. Real bad looking. Looks really, really bad. Can't even draw a circle on the pupil. Alright, this. That didn't do what I hoped. That's not gonna do what I hope. I can destroy this. I can kill this at some point. I guess I have to kill it now. I can attack. Might as well just get another minion on the field. Next we have a game on Steam that's called Wings of Virtus, V-I-R-T-U-S. Looks like another Game Boy game. Looks like a shoot 'em up style game. If this didn't look like a Game Boy game, I might be willing to consider it a little bit more. But honestly, maybe the Game Boy aesthetic is the thing that's making me give it a more of a consideration. Kind of feels like a shoot 'em up, kind of feels like Galaga. It's, I guess technically Galaga is a shoot 'em up game. $3.59 for this. Nope. I'm not gonna play any game that looks like looks like it's a Game Boy game. I like color too much. Call me crazy, but I like color in video games. Right, quickly we can get through this game. We have Shopping Clutter 2 Christmas Square, which is, it looks like it's probably a hidden object, Christmas themed, maybe jigsaw puzzle game. Yeah, it seems like it's probably a simplistic hidden object game. Or is it a matching game? I guess it's a matching game with some other kind of puzzles. They want 59 cents for this. If you absolutely have to play a Christmas game, this probably isn't too terrible. But I think you should probably reevaluate your priorities. You probably don't need to play a Christmas game. Let's see. 3 or less attack. That won't work. Swap a minion's attack to health. It's like nothing I can do. I should probably just concede. Lemon Lover says crazy wings looked good. Did we have a game called Crazy Wings that we looked at?
I let the dogs out.
Next we have Travel Mosaics Christmas Around the World. This is like the same company making a slightly different game, ever so slightly, while using probably 90% of the same visual assets. For 59 cents, 40% off. Again, don't feel like you really need a I don't think you really need to play a Christmas game. Just squelch this guy. If you're gonna win, win. Let's see, Lemon Lover says, let's see, but then again, you know my taste regarding old Game Boy looking games, lol. Yeah. Yeah, it really is going to come down to just an aesthetic thing. I would be willing to play an old Game Boy game, but they're probably, a real old Game Boy game would be pretty generic and simplistic with the 2 buttons and not, I think it was like a 12 megahertz processor running the Game Boy. But the color kills me. I'd be willing to play something that looked like a Game Boy Color game, but if you're going for grayscale or black and white, I'm out at that point. That's asking too much. We've got this game on Steam called Smoked, which clearly is a very low effort, like troll top-down shooter game. You can just tell by the thumbnail again. So I've have like 2 games going to the fall list right now, and we've closed 90% of everything. We've closed everything else. I don't need to make a percentage. Yeah. Okay. So where are we here? We've gotten enough done. So I have a challenge a friend on the European account, and I have like 3 victories I need to get done at some point, but not really. So this could happen at midnight, or this could happen at like 6 in the morning, or it could happen at 10 in the morning. Whenever I wake up and get to it, as I could do this potentially at some point tomorrow, basically is what I'm saying. The new expansion is coming out. We're opening 150 plus card packs. I've got a ton of news and games that will just roll over till Wednesday, and it's been a pretty good stream, and I think this is a good place to just wrap it up and save my energy for the expansion. Let's see. Yeah. Lemon Lover says Wings of Virtus or whatever. Yeah, it was Wings of Virtus, not Virtue. And then Lemon Lover said, yeah, the Game Boy Advance era was great regarding color and pixel art. Alright, so on that, thanks for chatting, Lemon Lover. That's going to be it for this recording and this stream. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me even further, you can support me by friending me on Steam and gifting me a game off my wishlist, or through Patreon. Links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.